Alright guys, today we're in the truck, just testing it out, and we're heading to Premium Coach Group. And we're gonna go work on Monaco Royale. Now this is Monaco's bus conversion built on the Prevost chassis. It needs new batteries. We didn't do any real troubleshooting. It's just the coach is sold, and part of the deal was they were promised new batteries, so they're going to get new house batteries. Now this has 6 Group 8D batteries. These are really big behemoth batteries, and let's go take a look at them on this 2006 Monaco Royale. Has an E, so we have to say Royale. All right, so we're back at Premium, and we're going to change some batteries out. We got 6 8D Lifeline batteries. Up here you can see the 2 Sandtrack Freedom inverters, SWs. Back there is a main battery disconnect solenoid, and this is a secondary battery disconnect solenoid. There's a battery junction block down there. So what I have to do first is label everything, because these are old batteries. These are from, I think, 2016, and they're dead. So let's go ahead and take a picture. Well, actually I did put my numbers on there. That way when I take a picture, I know what each battery cable is actually going to. And so I found it with that off. Those are the temperature sensors for each individual inverter. I got one there and one there. And then I also had this jumper cable. It was across that back solenoid or disconnect relay back there. I don't know why it was there. So let me take my picture and get these things swapped out. So of course naturally start with ground first. So theoretically now I should be disconnected. So positive shouldn't have any continuity to ground now. Alright, so if I go to the battery, I still probably have voltage. Good. If I go to ground, it's just reading noise, so that's 166 millivolts, so that's nothing. So now if I were to short this to the frame anywhere, it shouldn't spark. Looks like we're pretty much disconnected. Yeah. Oof. I was just stuck on with double-sided tape. It's me time to pull these things out. These are heavy. Get all these cables out of the way. And we're gonna go in one way, so that's a good thing. Do make sure it's not plugged into shore power. And make sure nobody can do that while you're working on it. Those are heavy little guys. I got a guy who's gonna help me put those in. But I'm gonna show you what's going on with these things and why we're replacing them. Alright, so these are the old ones. Obviously I just took out. They aren't lifelines. We're gonna be putting lifelines into them, but these were sealed AGMs. And although the front ones didn't look too bad, you can see a little bit of bulging there, and a little bit of bulging on the back there. But these back ones, I can see the plastic is stressed right there. And on the fifth one that I took out, a big chunk of the battery fell out of it. This is the fifth one right there. You can see how ruptured it was. And it split the side. So that's not a good thing right there, my guys. And of course this last one, it's swollen pretty well. That's where we're at. So I think it's pretty safe to say these need new batteries. Hey, there we go. Let's get it out of the way. All right, ready? So 2, 3. 2, 3. All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Alright, so I got to set it back in there. It's actually rubber based, so it was actually just dusty. There wasn't any real corrosion inside this that had to be treated. Now these are just battery temperature sensors. They don't actually handle any amperage whatsoever. They should theoretically be mounted to the terminal, because the terminal is going to go inside the battery and get a good indication of what the temperature of the battery actually is, better than a plastic case would. And since those blew up, I'm gonna put one on each, one on there and one over on this side, so at least we have the rear batteries and the front batteries getting looked at instead of just the 2 front batteries. I don't know if maybe that was an issue or not, but that's what I'm gonna try to do. So I just have to hook everything back up again. It's just gonna be just like disconnecting it. So let me get that done, and then we'll take a look at this. All right, so here we are. We're put back together. Did my best to get everything wired so that the positive wires don't rub against anything. And then we got that temperature sensor on that battery, and then this one cross-cornered to this side over here. I didn't show you. Did wire brush everything. So before we fire up anything, I guess we see if everything works. So to make sense of all of this, these are the 6 battery positive lugs that are coming in. They're actually labeled battery positive. These are the battery negatives coming into this. So this is like a bus bar where this is just a bus bar where all the positives connect, and there's a bus bar where all the negatives connect, so it keeps all those connections off the batteries, which is nice. Don't have so few connections on a battery. This is likely a charge solenoid. This is their main off of that bus bar right there. You have your shunt, so you know your battery volt amperage that's being used. And then from this point on, those are the 2 inverter fuses. This is the main disconnect. This is the control disconnect, so all the lights don't work. This is a battery disconnect. And then this one likely goes back to the chassis, to the equalizer. So when the chassis is running, not a big fan of how they did this. So basically everything, those 2 inverters, is all coming off this one battery cable and that one battery cable. Seems to me like each inverter should have their own battery cable. But I'm not Monaco and I didn't wire this thing up. Yeah. Okay. That's where we're at. So yeah, taking this power off that side, that goes down to the disconnect. At that point, it goes out to the distribution box, which is down in here, and I'll show you that there in a second. Let's go ahead and start the engine up. Alright, let's see what we got going on to these batteries. Probably should get an alligator clip here. So 14.5, that's good charge voltage from the engine. That's a good sign. So let's go ahead and turn the engine off. Alright, now those inverters are new. Before they would have gone through this inverter control would have gone through the silver leaf display right here, but like everything, that stuff goes bad. And so the previous owner went ahead and installed new inverters and put the controls underneath the sink here. So here we go. Let me go back to menu and go to that guy. Really don't like these. Let's go there, inverter, enabled, enter. All right, so I just saw that guy turn on. Microwave's on. And my 110 sconce lights are on. I didn't hear the refrigerator fire up. So let's go to this one, go to the menu. Go to that guy. I hate this display. Why don't they just say inverter control? Enter. Enabled. All right. Inverter's on. Let's see. Huh. Nothing there, nothing there. Refrigerator's on. Inverter 1, inverter 2. All right, so I guess that was everything. So the dishwasher and the stovetop do not go through the inverter. So that's good to know. So now, let's go ahead and go back outside. Ooh, 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 ooh. Alright, so we're inverting, so we should be taking battery power out right now. So our voltage should be down, but not too much because we have brand new batteries. So we're at 13.15. Let's go ahead and plug the short cord in. Okay. Heard that clunk of the transfer switch. Okay, the inverters by this point should have seen power coming in. So let's see, ACN. So we should be charging. $14.5. That's a good solid charge. I think we're doing pretty well. I still don't know what this mystery wire is for. Checked it out and I went back into that area. From there, it's a mystery. There's just so much going on in here. So that's actually a ventilation fan controlled by this thermostat right here, so that when it gets too hot in these battery compartments, it ventilates it all. Because, you know, make things complicated. Alright, so if I go to back up, right now we are ACN. We're in bulk mode on our chargers. So I think we're pretty good. I still have to make sure the battery These inverters are set up for that battery bank, but I have a bigger problem right now. So this battery disconnect switch is working now. I did take out that melted battery cable. I don't know why somebody bypassed it. That scares me. So this does control that master disconnect switch. But this thing has push button controls on a multiplex. Like this. And they are not responding to anything. And that system was working last week. It wasn't working this morning. And so this is everything we got in there. I have to figure out what's going on with that. So if I turn the power on to the system. Everything lights up. All my circuit breakers up there are good. All the fuses are good. I think we lost some logic control board here. But that's another problem. So far the batteries look good. So let's go ahead and put our special terminal protector on it. Our magic red juice. Corrosion really shouldn't be a problem with these batteries, as they're sealed AGMs. And to help out the next guy, let's go ahead and put our date, February of 20. That way, next guy knows. So all I have to do now is put the covers and everything back together, and at least this part's done. I'll worry about everything else in a minute. Now before I put this all away, these are Lifeline GPL 8Ds. This battery size is called 8D. There's 4D. It's a little bit thinner than this, but these are the big guys. Some of these rigs have 8 of these in here. Could you imagine if this was all lithium? You could be back up on a house for a couple days. Alright, with those all, covers put back on, batteries are done. Alright guys, so that was installing 6 8D Lifeline batteries in a 2006 Monaco Royale Bus conversion. I was just installing the batteries. They were provided to me, so I didn't have to purchase them. It was just part of the sales deal. Those batteries in general, I looked up the specs on it, about $750 a piece. They're rated at 250 amp hours a piece, so with 6 of them, by my math, that was about 1,500 amp hours. But of course, these are flooded batteries, so technically you can only get 50% of that, or else you damage the battery. So we'll call it 750. If you were to switch over and do it with the Tesla lithium modules, they're comparable in size. They're about 100 pounds lighter, so they're about 55 pounds. They do cost about $1,600 a piece. Now, of course, they are 24 volt, so you actually have more voltage than you need. So you'd still have to step that down to 12 volt. So you would technically have even more reserve capacity. And of course, these are lithium, so you could run those down almost to zero. So you get 100% of your charge. So if we were really compare it, you'd only need to get 3 of those Tesla batteries. They would last a lot longer. And with 3 of them, with 100% capacity, you get about 700 amp hours compared to the 750 with the 6 8Ds. You're saving, let's see, so 3 batteries is going to weigh about 1 8D battery too. So 6 8D batteries is going to run you about 930 pounds, and 3 of those Tesla modules will run you about 170 pounds. You do lose some battery management, so you have to put some battery management in it, but it's maybe a better option down the road here pretty shortly. Uh, at any rate, for what it's worth, I'm not a battery expert. Just thought I'd share all that information with you guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks a lot. Hi guys. Again, I was just installing the batteries. They provided